Hey, Stu from UAVfutures here, and today, well, chances are you're an FPV nut. You've got a complete kit of FPV stuff at home, but today, what we're looking at, it's the top 5 FPV products that are cheap and awesome that you might not know about. So we're going to do a bit of a countdown list. We've got all our drones here. We're going to be going through, finding out some things that not everybody might not know about. So let's kick it off, and we'll also throw some bonuses in here as well, so there's a couple of different things. But right now, so chances are, for number 5, what you might have is you might have a little bit of a crack in your frame. Maybe your frame is starting to delaminate. You've been doing some bando flyings. You've crashed into a brick wall or something. What we've got right here, even though this frame isn't damaged, but still, we can pretend what we've got. We've actually got some repair powder. So this is from UAV. It's some graphite powder, I should say, and also a little bit of adhesive. You mix these you put a little bit on, you file it down. It also comes with a file somewhere, but I lost that. But yeah, we have a little repair kit for your carbon. So if you're ever one of those people out there, you might have a really expensive frame like the Armaton or Mammut as some less fancy people say. You might want to repair these things because they're pretty expensive, and if you've got a top tier frame, something like this, you might be with the sort of people who really cares after their quads, and you try to repair it as best you can, get your miles out of it. Well, this little repair solution I think is going to help a lot of people out there, but I haven't seen too many out that come in a little kit like this for a pretty cheap price. So that one is coming in at number 5. Now I can get these out of the way. Alrighty, the next one on my list, and that's why I got my goggles on my head, is because we're going to be looking at some power cables. And yes, power cables, Stuart, how exciting can that be? Well, surprise, surprise, we actually got the smart cable here from Furious FPV, and this one is designed for a lot of people who, they don't like the batteries that are in the side of the head, and you might want to have an on-off switch. I know a lot of people complain about not having on-off switches on their Fat Shark, so you plug a battery in, it can take up to a 3 to 6S Lipo. Hopefully this is in shot in the roof cam. Let's turn it on right here, and this bad boy, it pretty much does exactly what you would expect. So let me just hold the button in. Alrighty, and then you plug it in to your goggles, and then you are ready to rock and roll. So it does things, it tells you your voltage, it gives you a few warnings, and I don't know, it gives you pretty much a whole bunch of little call out features and all that sort of stuff. And look, I've got some other cables here as well, and I'm going to say these are some of the best things you can get, because you don't want to be out in the field flying around, you're having a great time, you've got all your lipos charged, and you hear that dreaded noise that happens when your Fat Sharks start going flat, beep, beep, beep. That is a bit of a nightmare. And if you don't have one of these cords, and I mean, I think this one's super cheap at like $3 or something like this, this can absolutely save your flying session. So you keep this in your backpack at all times. You're never going to be left in the lurch with a flat FPV goggle, because trust me, it's happened to me. There is nothing worse. Maybe losing your quad, but it is very frustrating when you got a whole bunch of batteries charged up and they're ready. They can power your goggles, but unless you have one of these little adapters, well, it's not going to be a very good day. And then the final little power cord, I've kind of merged 3 together in this number 4 spot, is this one right here. Now this is a really flexy one. It does pretty much the same sort of stuff. You can power your on-ways or your goggles with it, but it takes an XT60, which is really important because that's what all the drone batteries go on. But this one also, it connects right up here to your TS100. So if you've got one of these soldering irons at home, this bad boy is such a nice, this one is really flexible. I think it's like $5, $6. I bought 2 of these because I had such a dodgy cord before that was really painful, and it was like a hard plastic cable. This one, it makes your soldering so much easier because you don't have any friction or anything sort of pushing and any force on the end of it. If you've got this one, it kind of fits all of it. So you can charge your goggles and also charge your TS100 if you got one of those at home. Now moving on, let's talk about number 3. And I'd love to know too, if you've got things at home that aren't your everyday FPV pilot stuff, to do things a little bit differently, maybe they've got a little extra special function, put those in the comments down below. What special kit, what special things do you have in your kit that people might not know about? But number 3, moving on, and some of you might have seen this. I really like this one. I did a video on it a little while ago. This is from Race Day Quads. It's the Lipo storage saver or something like that. You might be out in the field flying around all day and you might be saying, Stuart, what is this tiny little cheap thing doing in your hands? That just looks like an XT60. Well, sirs and lasses, that's pretty much what half of it is. The other half, it just got a little LED on here. You plug it in, and that little LED is going to discharge your Lipo down to storage voltage, which means if you've got a few of these, throw them on your packs, you come home, you don't leave your batteries at a high voltage all day, which can be very bad for them. You just pretty much, it makes a nice, easy, simple solution for us lazy people out there. After a big day of flying, we can come home and put our Lipos in storage charge. So look, I'm a huge fan of that because, well, I can be a bit lazy, especially at the end of the day when I've been out flying. I'm absolutely spent, and I just want to come home and kind of veg out. I'm exhausted after, you know, a massive, complete whole day flying session, and this bad boy makes my life a little bit easier for us lazy people out there anyway. Yes, you can do it on your charger, but I don't know, depends how lazy you are, and I'd say I'm in the lazy category. Now I'm putting that to the side, and then the next one coming in at number 2, what I've got here, it's just a battery checker, and oh well, I've seen those things before, but this one does things a little bit different. You might not have heard of this one. I've also done a video on this one, and you plug your battery in. If I got this around the right way, might help. I do like how it doesn't go up in smoke if you get it around the wrong way. So you can see, you can check our volts and all that sort of stuff on the screen right there, but also, if you're ever going to do some diagnostics with, I just went through the entire menu, I shouldn't have done that. If you want to do some diagnostics on your receiver, you can also plug your receiver into this, and you can find out exactly what is happening. We've got the S-Bus, it's set up in S-Bus mode at the moment. You can check what are your channels doing on your receiver. So not only is this a useful battery checker, but for about the same price, you can also use it if you're going to be doing some future things and checking your receivers, setting up wings, or you just want to find out what is that receiver doing without having to put it into a drone and connecting up to Betaflight. This thing makes it very, very useful, especially if you're going to be using a craft that is like maybe a wing that isn't even going to be touching Betaflight. So this I am a big fan of. I've used it quite a bit, and it is very, very helpful. So we'll put that bad boy to the side. I'll link them all down below, and then moving on, I know it's a bit of a short video. Number 1, this is for you, all you unfortunate iPhone users out there, and I know a lot of people are going to say, Stuart, just use Android, use an OTG cable or whatever. Yeah, I know, I 100% agree, but I unfortunately have a really old iPhone, and sometimes when I'm in the field, I don't want to carry a laptop around. I might want to do some sneaky Betaflight changes, but if you're one of the unfortunate people like myself that still has a dodgy Apple phone, I think mine is like an iPhone 6 or something, it's all cracked. It's what I can do is I plug this in, I plug my drone in, and of course props off, you know, don't do what I do. And then what else do I need to plug in? Plug my drone in. Actually, I wonder that might even be able to power that. I wonder if I can connect right now. So let's have a little bit of a search. Oh, I don't even need to plug that battery in. There we go. I thought you had to plug both of them, but learn something every day. I can connect up right here. And now I can do all my sort of Betaflight setup on my phone. And I know a lot of people who have used this setup who don't actually have the funds to purchase a computer just to set up. So if you want to do something where you can still set up Betaflight and configure your quad, but you don't have to purchase a laptop, or maybe you want a nice little easy solution that you can take, so we go, there it is plugged in, that you can take to the field and do some work without carrying that sort of stuff around. This, very light, very cheap, makes it very easy, especially if you're going to hook it up to your phone, you want to use Bluetooth. And I know you can get cables if you're using an Android, but for me, because I'm stuck with this old iPhone, well, I'm not going to be complaining, and it's definitely something that I never take out of my toolkit. You know, I never leave it. I always, it's never something that I take out of my bag. I always bring it with me because it has saved me quite a few times when I need to set something up. So there we go. We'll take that apart. So there we go, that's my top 5 things in FPV that are relatively cheap, but also offer some functions that you might not know of, or you might just not have heard of those products before. So I'm going to put all the links down below. Couple of extra little bonuses for you. I got some posters turned out, so shout out to, I think it's Jarno Willamark, I think that's how you say his name. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering it. I'm going to put those posters down below. They turned up. They look pretty sexy, if I don't say so myself. And also another bonus, what I've got here you might not know about. I'm going to give myself a bit of a plug. It's been a long time since I've kind of spoken about these, but what I've got, we've got some UAVfutures Velcro straps as well. A lot of you guys might not know. I'm going to put the link down below where you can pick some of these up as well, and they kind of have space. I ended up making these because back in the day, when I first started making these straps, they used to all come with a little plastic bit on the end. And I wanted a metal buckle. Nowadays, I know, look, that's pretty commonplace, but it's cool to see these things out in the wild with people flying around. And also, there's a space if you want to put your name, your phone number, or maybe you want to put your FAA registration or something like that. That's why there's a bit of space on here so you can actually write on your Velcro strap. But I'll put the link down below too for if you want to pick these up over on my Patreon page. Other than that, subscribe for more FPV related content. This was a bit of a fun, different video. Let me share your thoughts on what you think, and also if you've got something in your bag that's unique, what is it? If it's something we haven't heard of, even better, and how does it help you? All that sort of stuff. I want to know, because we have such an amazing pool of knowledge out there in the community. You might have some little secret gems that can help a lot of people get flying, or just little things that for a couple of extra bucks can make a huge difference. Especially things like this little bad boy, huge difference. This has saved me so many times. Or if you just want to get one of these cheap little cables that's going to keep people flying, if they've got a flat goggle battery, these tiny little cheap products can make a world of difference to somebody's FPV session. So anyway, that's it. Subscribe for more FPV related content. I'm going to stop rambling, and as always, happy flying. And go check out those posters.